This is my review of the Tokina 200mm 3.5 f mount lens. If the aperture is all the way open at 3.5, this lens produces a very soft picture. Small details blur together, and it's actually very hard to get a decent amount of focus peaking on the frame, although there is often enough, just enough contrast to get a few pixels of contrast peaking. Chromatic aberrations are also very apparent, especially at bright spots or at high contrast areas. Stopping the aperture down to 5.6 gets rid of most of the aberrations, and you get a much sharper picture. Although the aberrations and unsharpness of the lens remain even at the closest apertures. The lens overall is not very sharp. This could actually just be because I have it on an MFT body where things like chromatic aberrations or unsharpness get exaggerated because of the high crop factor. But as we move into territories of higher definition video, even beyond 4K, we will see these lenses most likely fall out of favor of people. The long focus throw makes it on the one hand very easy to fine-tune the focus to a specific area, and on the other hand very hard to quickly focus between two far-away objects. I would recommend this lens to anyone even on MFT sensors, especially if they want to do just video work with it, because even in 4K it is still sufficiently sharp to create a very pleasing image. I had no problem distinguishing very small details in faraway shots and frames grabbed from 4K images. Whether you want to use it for wildlife videography, for landscapes, or for very long shots where you just have people, for example, walking towards the camera in a scene, this lens is doing the job just fine. Considering I got this lens for free, I would say I will not complain about this lens. Somebody who's looking to get into a 200mm vintage lens should maybe look towards Chinon or another one of the very many 200mm 3.5 lenses that exist in this bracket. If you put on the 2x teleconverter, you can get very long focal lengths. I can see this being useful, for example, taking pictures of the moon or very far away landmarks. But the focal length is so strong that even the slightest vibrations will send your image jittering and shaking everywhere. I can't even see a normal tripod being used for anything other than a perfectly static shot with this. Other than that, it's a lot of fun.